Hello and welcome back to Archi Tools. This is module 4 of learning Revit from basic. As a beginner, you have learned how you can create wall, how you can work with different levels, and how you can provide your grids as per your requirement. Now we are going to talk about the modify tool, which is being widely used while modeling. So let's start. So when you go into the ribbon panel for the modify, there are a number of options. In this, we will get to it one by one. First of all is my align tool, and the shortcut for that is AL. Let's say I have made my wall, and the second wall is like this. So what if I want my second wall to be aligned like that? I can simply press the AL for shortcut, and I can press the align. So after pressing the alignment, the ends from where I have aligned, it will go to that end. Next option is move and copy, that you are well aware of. If you want to move any object, you can simply go here, or you can press the shortcut key MV and move your element. Just be sure that while moving, you have two options, whether you want to constrain the elements attached to it or you want to keep it as a disjoint. I'll show you both the options. First of all, I'll go with the constraint. This constraint is stick, and if I move my wall, the elements attached to it will move automatically. So the overall wall has been reduced. The other option is that I can move this by clicking on disjoin. Now if I move my wall, the elements attached to it won't move. Obviously, these hosted elements will still be there, but the non-hosted elements which were attached, like the walls, floors, won't be extending or shrinking because of movement of any element. Similar case is for the copy also. Beside move, we have a option of copy, and its shortcut is CU. You can select on constraint or disjoin, but as you can find that disjoin option is not selected over here. The reason for that is if you are copying this, that means this element is not being moved. So the disjoin option is uh, automatically unselectable because of this, because you are copying that element, not moving it. So disjoin is not applicable to that. Next is if you want to copy multiple objects. So if I want to copy multiple objects, like as I want to copy this wall, I can go on to this copy option and select my multiple and just move it. So without any break, it will help me to move my object in a continuous manner. If I copy it without multiple, it will let me copy only once. Again, I have to go to the command and copy it. So it's based on your requirement whether you want to move it on a multiple time or you want to move it just once. You can select the option related to that. If I untick this constraint, let's see what happens. So there is no change of unticking it. I'll check with this on also. So yes, there is no option whether you take or untick constraint in this category. Next is arraying. The option for that is over here, array. So for array, if I select one element, let's say I want to array this part, and I move to this option, and the shortcut for that is AR. Now we have first of all two options, whether you want to array it. Array is just copying in multiple quantity at once. rather than going into copying and multiplying it one by one. Array does it at once. So one option for that is using the linear option. The other would be the radial, that is multiplying it from a single point to radially. Next option would be group and associate. Let's first go with the linear, and I'll show you group and associate option how this works. If I move this element and this is the gap which I want to have, 2100. Next is the number I would require is, let's say, 10. And how I would be like, how I would like to move it. I would like to move it to the last, or I would like to move second. So if I select the second option, this gap is showing that the second entity is at a 2100 gap, and the next 9 items will move according to that. If I go to DI and check the dimensions, the gap is 2100. The other option would be I again go to array, and this time I move it to the last, and the number would be same. So now when I move my entity, that means that the object where I will keep the next entity would be my last, and the rest 8 members will be filled in between the space equally, like as this. So we have kept these two distance apart, and within that the remaining 8 members have been filled in a uniform interval. So as you will see that the items are in a group. This is helpful when you want to provide array parameter, or the elements are same and you want to change any element rather than going into one, and rather than going to the element one by one, it's better to keep it a group, because the elements are copied, and rather than going into the elements one by one, you can change your element at once and it will reflect on whole of the elements. So group is better in cases of array generally, but it makes a file heavy. So we need to make sure whether the grouping is required or not. Otherwise, if you don't want group, you just do the next process which I'll be sharing to you. You just select it and go to the array, and this time untick the group and associate and keep your element as per your requirement. Now as you can see, the elements are not in a group. So this is all related to the linear array. Now I'll go to my radial array. So I have selected this element and I will be going to array. This time I'll select this option and I'll untick the group and associate, and the number which I want is 9. So next is, it would be asking for my center of rotation. So automatically it detects the center point of the element. If you don't want to rotate it from this, you can you can just go into this place option, and it will ask for the point. Now let's say I want to rotate it from this point. Next is it will ask for the angle. So the angle which I want to provide. Before providing the angle, you must be sure that what move to option you have provided. Whether you want the angle between two elements to be 15 degrees, it will make it like that. If I go to DI and just select this angular option, I'll do it once again. We have kept it in radial. The number would be 9 second, and angle would be 15. Center rotation, I will place it here, and just press on enter, not rotate it. Now, if I go to DI and check my angle, it would come 15 degree. You can do it manually also, as we have discussed for the angle. The other option for array would be I select this last, and now I provide my angle that I want my 9 elements to be within 180 degrees. Place my rotation point here and just press enter. Hmm. Let's do it once again. I want 9 elements. Place rotation is this. The angle is 180 degrees. Just press enter. Yes, 9 elements are rotated. You can count also. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So the elements counting is starting from the first element itself, from where we are arraying the element. Just make sure of that. So the array part is clear now. Next is the option of mirror. We have two options for mirroring. One is by picking the axis, and the shortcut for that is mm, and the other is drawing an axis, that is dm. We'll discuss both of them. I'll select this one, and now I need to mirror this. Let's keep it a little bit geometrical like this, and let's say I want to mirror it. So I'll choose the first option. Now it will ask for the axis from where I want to rotate. If you have an axis, this option is better. So let's say this is my axis in between, and you can imagine a line that is going till upwards. So this is a parallel line. You can also select any line like this also. It will mirror according to that. So for simplicity, I'll choose this line just once, and it will mirror it. Just make sure while mirroring that I'll just copy it. While mirroring, there is an option of whether you want to copy the item or not. If you don't select this, it will just be mirrored, not get copied on the both side. So as per your requirement, you can adjust your mirroring. So this was mirroring using the option. Next is, if you don't have an axis and you want to draw a line for that. So this time I'll select again, and here I will choose draw axis. Now I have to draw axis. My line are not made right now. So it will, for making any line, you want 2 points. So you will select 2 points like this, and it will get mirrored. Obviously, I haven't ticked the copy option. That's why it's only mirrored, not copied at the same time. Next is rotating. So for rotating, it's quite easy. Just select this option, and it will first of all ask whether you want to disjoin, that we have discussed, and whether you want to copy or not. I'll select this copy, and at what angle you want to rotate. Let's say 135 degrees, and the center of rotation. You will select that. You will keep this angle 135, press on enter. So it will rotate like this. And since you have copied, two elements will be provided now. Next is trim and extend corner. This is the most used modify option, and why this is beneficial is let's say you have made a wall like this, but these are not joined, and needless of going and joining like this one by one, it's better to use trim and extend. So you can find the option over here, or you can use the shortcut TR. Select this and select the option, selecting the face, the direction where you want to join it. Now if you select the other end, the next end will vanish. So I'll select this one and it will go like this. If I select the other end, the left hand portion will now be removed. So just make sure while using the trim, the direction where you want to trim. So this is an important mm, and most used m- modify option. Next is splitting the elements. So the shortcut for that is SL. So if I select SL, it will just split the element. Now you can place it, or so this option is beneficial when you want to provide a different material or you want to keep a gap. If you want to keep a gap after splitting, you can use this option. Next, it will automatically provide a gap between them. So splitting this option is also okay, and you can join if you like by trimming it. Array we have discussed, and next option is scale. So for scaling, I'll just copy this and I'll use this option. So we have two options for scaling. One is the graphical method. The graphical method would be, I will select 2 points based on the graph, based on the graph or visual which you have. Let's say I have this scale up and I want its length to be up till here. So the graphical method would be, I select this point, would be my starting point, and first of all, I will draw a line which I have to remove afterwards. It's just for the graphical scaling. So I'll select this point and up to which extent I want to extend. So I'll move it till the edge. It will be extended graphically. Next option would be scaling by numerical value. So let's say you know that this is, let's keep it 10,000. You know that this is 10,000 and this one is 2,500. And in this case, let's align this one just for more clarity in visual. So it's clear that 2,500 is 4 times of this one, and you want to scale it according to that. In such cases, you will use a numerical scaling and provide your point. Just click on OK and select the item. It will scale in numerical fashion. So we've discussed scale also, and the one option which we have left is trimming in a multiple fashion. Like as I have multiple elements like these walls, and trimming each one of them would first of all create a gap, and this would take a long time. Instead of doing that, we can use trim multiple. So I'll select the elements and go to trim multiple elements. I'll select the point and now select the elements. So you can use this property when multiple elements are to be extended to a particular line. Next is pinning and unpinning. This is beneficial for elements which you don't want to be deleted, want it to get deleted while working, since multiple persons would be working in your project in BIM. So let's say this is a wall and you want to keep it fixed, and you don't want anyone to move it or delete it. So you can simply pin it from your end, and this makes sure that any other persons while working does not by any chance for mistake they cannot drag it or delete it, showing a warning that the pinned objects were not deleted. So this makes sure important items in a secure point. So this is used for pinning up the scope boxes, the grids, which you know that is already fixed and it shouldn't be moved while working. So it's a good point. And in order to avoid your dragging of elements while working, it's better to select this. If I go into select drop down, you should keep this drag elements on selection off. By this way, if you select this and this face, if you select a face and by mistake you you have dragged it, it's not possible in this. But if I untick it, you should untick it drag option on elements on selection, because so okay, you have pretty much summed up we have pretty much summed up the modify elements. And this is obviously the delete option. We don't use this um, delete option, but it is provided by, we generally just select the options and press on delete, uh, needless of going and applying a shortcut for that. So yes, we have carried our modify options and we have worked on that. Okay, so we have pretty much summed up the modifying options. I'll just ask you all to just practice it from your end. And if you face any issues with that, just provide a comment in the videos so I'll help you out. Like and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss an important video and also the next module which we will be going to discuss. So in the next module, we will be discussing about how you can provide floors, ceilings, and staircases with handrails. See you in the next video.